Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about futures bets from last season. This is a results video, if you will, and I'm going to make this free for the world to see it. So it'll be on YouTube, it'll be on Patreon, and it'll be one of those things everybody can see and judge me all you want. But I do want to talk to you guys about the futures bets videos. If you aren't aware, last year, January timeframe, MVPs reached out and they said, Rico, in the offseason, can you help us with futures bets? And I said, sure. And we started a playlist of college football win totals. And there's 102 videos in this playlist. And it started in January. So we're almost approaching January. We're about a month away from doing this again all off season long. And the very first video that I made, I told you go in here and take Colorado over 4.5 wins and believe in this shit. Like you wouldn't believe it. Take it. They had Alabama there, and I told you take the under on Alabama. Now, see right here, I said take the over, multi-unit worthy is what I wrote. And there are moments in the offseason where I start screaming, this is a multi-unit bet. Vegas has it wrong. And if you don't jump on it early, you're going to miss your opportunity. And a prime example of that was Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was a minus 115 early on. It was still 2.5 over under on Vandy. You know they went 6-6 this year. There was a 2.5 thing, and I started screaming, guys, this is a 10-unit bet. I underlined it. I put it in italics. I made a video screaming about it. And I told you guys, go make your 10-unit bet. And some of you didn't do it. And when you missed, it went to minus 200. You missed your chance is what I'm saying. You still had to make the bet. It was still in green. If you see white text here, that means it was a lock. That's why I kept these over here in their original format. You can see it. It was a lock. It was shaded green, underlined italics. When you see multiple changes to the title, that's exactly, I'm just trying to draw your attention to it 100 times over. And it was a 10-unit bet. We all know it hit. It hit by week fucking 4. It was amazing. And I'm screaming. And there are moments like this in the offseason where I'm telling you, this is a multi-unit bet. You see Colorado, 4 units. For me, a unit, just so we're clear, everybody's unit size is different. For me, a unit is $100. Okay? And we'll get to this chart and I'll break it all down. But I want to show you that the futures chart, the futures playlist, college football win totals, here on Patreon, if you scroll down, you will see me talking about the national championships. This is back in January. How the hell can you predict the national champion in January? Pretty difficult, but let me tell you something. If you kept watching these, I did a playoff parlay where I talked about who's going to make the playoffs, and the number one team for me was Oregon because they had the easiest schedule among all the elite teams. This is a fact, and the reason I can tell you I said this is when you look in here, who are the elite teams? It was Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State. See these 3? And only Oregon shaded in green. Oregon's a 3-unit bet to hit the over, and it was a plus 100 when we started. I said, guys, you got to believe in Oregon. And by the way, I dominated the Big Ten. Absolutely crushed it. It feels so amazing. Did not crush the Big 12. Did not crush the SEC. And it really hurts. But man, did we do amazing over here. And we'll talk about it in depth. If you scroll down this playlist, I talked about Heismans. Obviously missed the Heisman. I went with quarterbacks. On Power 4 teams. We had an all-time season in some other areas, so you miss. It happens. Over under futures bets. This is the Colorado Alabama video. I was screaming, take the over for Colorado, multi-units. Take the under for Alabama. They do not include conference championship games. Take the under. Alabama's only winning 9 games this year. Then we went to Georgia, or I went to Futures Bets Worth Making Part 1. And here, this was specifically about games. They had some games posted. That was cool. Another futures bet. I was still learning the format and what I wanted to do. I was talking about multiple teams in each video. I was talking about the Heisman and playoff contention, all this other stuff. I wasn't quite organized at this time. It's still very early in January. Then I got really focused. CFL's here. CFL, MVPs, you don't ever have to watch the Grey Cup. I know you guys don't watch all that damn hockey, soccer, golf and volleyball that you're betting on, whatever the hell you're doing. The Grey Cup, I went out there and I told you who's winning the Grey Cup a year in advance. I literally picked the championship game correct. Both teams correct. I put the 2 teams in the championship, they were there. An MVP wrote me and said, hey, Rico, I just won thousands of dollars off your Grey Cup video. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I forgot I made this video. It was in January of last year. So you keep going, and right here in February, we start breaking down every single team in America. And I start going alphabetical by conference. So Boston College, I stop what I'm doing. It was supposed to be Boston College, Cal was next. But I stopped what I'm doing to scream at you to bet the Vanderbilt game. I checked the whole list, and I was like, okay, I know I'm going alphabetical by conference, but my God, do something, get to Vanderbilt right now. Okay? And we keep going through it. And we talk about it. I send you the chart, keep updating it, and we break down every single team. There's not a team that was missed in the Power 4. Okay? There wasn't, and the reason there wasn't that many, and you can keep going and loading and seeing it all and everything, okay? But there wasn't a lot of group of 5 teams done because they don't release those until later in the summer. And we were at crunch time by that point. So I kind of skimmed through them and tried to find a couple of value bets I liked and some things I like. And we missed horrifically on a lot of the group of the 5 games. If you're actually looking at the chart, the group of 5 teams are down here. And you see I only got 2 of them right. New Mexico State and UConn. The rest I missed. And we'll talk about it. So a couple of things I want to orientate you to on the chart is the color scheme. If it's green, it's a lock. If it's green, I got it right. If it's green text, it's a lock. The green text, when I highlight it green, you wouldn't be able to see the green text. So now white text means it's a lock. Okay? But if you see it green with red like this, that means I missed a lock. And the way you know what I'm saying is going to happen is don't look at the unit colors or any of these other colors. It's the team name colors that matter. So all these are locks that I hit in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Boom. And then the black is a lean. I kind of, I don't feel either way about it. It's just like a coin flip, if you will. The purple's a value bet. Long shots, gonna very rarely get them right. Don't take all the value bets. If you've learned this in the UFC, you should know this by now. The UFC, we have this chart and we talk about it, but purple's gonna always be a difficult hit. And it's one of those things where if you're new to the chart and the channel, you just start tailing everything because you're dumb and you lose money. Okay. All in all, overall, pretty difficult to predict the entire, if you don't know what this is doing. This is predicting win-loss totals for the entire season, before this season. Impossible, right? Impossible to get the whole script right. But I gave it a shot, wanted to see how it went. And what I learned from this, if I'm being honest, my learning experience from this entire, I guess, science experiment is that in futures bets, trying to predict the entire script is next to impossible. But you can identify those moments where Vegas got it wrong, and you need to be loud and clear about it. And I think that will be most advantageous for you guys. And I'm going to break that down for you guys here in a second. So if you're looking at locks overall, we went 21 and 18. It's a 54%, the best percentage among all the different predictions. Leans, 40%. Not good. Not good. And then value bets, exactly what I thought they would be, 27%. Value bets are long shots. I just don't have a good feeling for it. We're going to take the better odds and rock with it and stuff like that. But it's not the greatest thing. ROI, 2% ROI on locks, which is just not worth your time, to be clear. Minus 30%, minus 29%. Huge losses in leans and value bets. But then there's something here where I have the green shaded bets. When this chart was all clear and white, this chart looked like this. These are copy and pasted from here before I filled in the color schemes. This whole thing, all these teams over here, let me scroll over so you guys can see it. All these are over here. Oh, I forgot you guys are on a 29-inch projection. Excuse me. So all these over here are what it looked like for the MVPs when they were trying to decide what to bet on. And I tell you guys, the green shade, see the green background on it? The shaded in green ones are the bets I would personally make. Now, I generally say that I can't gamble in Georgia on these futures bets. So what we would have to do is every time Kim would go to Virginia in the offseason to go visit her mother, we would line up some bets. And she would make the futures bets on my behalf. And she would make the bets. And I would try to have her bet on all the shaded greens. Sometimes we did it, sometimes we didn't. And I'm going to share that with you guys here in a second. But if you bet on all the shaded greens, somebody told me that, hey, Rico, keep track of all the shaded greens. It's a 19, almost 20% ROI. We bet 73 units out, and we win 87.39 units. I had a really good feel for every single one of these shaded green bets. Okay. If we go to the far right, as far as we can go, we have Rico's bets. This is actual money I put on these bets. And I've actually shared some of the screenshots of the winning betting slips on Discord earlier in the year, and then I shared some recently. I also have the playoffs bet. We put 10 units on that, and we hit that, so that doubled all those units because it was like a plus 112, plus 130, something like that, maybe 122, and that paid off handsomely. That felt really good. But if you look here, Rico's bets, I bet the top three. I had time. I bet the top three. I skipped some of these, even though they were shaded green. I didn't make those bets, and that's on me. I just, you miss opportunities to do certain things. I miss an opportunity to hit on some of these, like Louisville that I got right, or Stanford, Syracuse, and Virginia. Went ham in the ACC in this right here, and I did not make those bets personally. Got the picks right, but didn't make the bets personally. The ones I made personally are right here. And the only thing I really feel bad about, the only ones I really lost when I made the bets personally are, I lost on, and I guess I don't have the zeros copied over. No, they're right here. The zeros are here. I lost on Arizona State, and Baylor. I lost in the Big 12 pretty bad, personally. Now, you might have lost to other places. I lost in the Big 12, and it didn't feel good. But 77 units out, 93 units in. Those are my personal bets. 77 out, 93 in. Very similar to this. Very similar on the ROI of the green shade. Just so we're clear. So what went right, what went wrong? Obviously, Vanderbilt, Alabama, and Colorado got all those right to start off. Boston College, I thought the under was going to be there. I thought they would never get above 4.5 wins. Apparently, Bill O'Brien is him. Bill O'Brien figured it out and got his team together, and he's probably a better coach than some of the people he's going up against. Cal did not hit the over 6.5. It's disappointing to see Cal fall apart. I was really banking on Jaden Ott to do his thing. Their running back, it did not happen. Clemson, this was a flip-flop, and this is why it's red, because that was a change. Initially, I was on the over, and then I was on the under, and it's just one of these confusing things where I was going back and forth, but I hope you guys understood. On the first video, I might have said under, then I flipped it to over, or vice versa. I don't remember. That's the only one. It was highlighted orange when I started the whole chart. It's the only one I'm really not sure how you guys went about it. I apologize, but it's one of those teams that I was really flip-flopping on. By the way, they did not hit 9.5 over. Yes, they have 10 wins now, but you don't count the conference championship. So it's the under actually hit. Okay, so yay me. Duke got it wrong. They won a bunch of games this year. It is what it is. Florida State, horrifically wrong. Vegas got it more wrong than me. They put it at 9.5. What the hell is wrong with them? Blew it and blew it again. Georgia Tech, I was on the under. I thought it would be a rough year. It obviously wasn't. They had a daunting schedule. They found ways to win, and they looked impressive. Louisville, I knew they were on the under. Just knew it. You're not going to have the same team you had. You built the whole thing through the transfer portal. There's no camaraderie there. They're just a bunch of hired guns. Miami, this was a 128, a plus 128, and the only value bet you're going to see around here, one of the very few value bets, if you look for all the purples, that had multiple units on it. And I talked about this. I was very high on Miami. There was no way you could ignore Miami. And going over 9.5 wins, it happened, and it was a plus 128. MVPs. These are bets up here that I really believed in. And I felt like Vegas got it wrong. And then I went down here, and it's when you start seeing stuff like this. This is those pockets in those spots where you got to believe in it and put your money where it goes. But it's hard to predict the whole slate. I missed horrifically on both North Carolina games or North Carolina teams. I missed on the whole state of North Carolina. I'm telling you that right now. I think App State, yeah, I missed on everything and anything. North Carolina State, North Carolina, 5 units out the door, never seen them again. It's the reality of the situation. Missed. Pitt found a way to win 6 games. It's a damn shame I went on the under. Totally correct on SMU. Wish I hammered it more. I only put 1 unit. I wish it was more. Damn shame. Stanford got it right on the under. Syracuse on the over. Virginia on the over. Correct. Virginia Tech totally blew it. Oh, what a disappointing season for Virginia Tech. Did not get where they needed to be. They ended up 6-6, and it was a 2-unit lock. It did not happen. Wake Forest, I had them on the over. Didn't get there. Illinois put things together. They're actually nationally ranked, which is nuts, and I missed. Bad. Then I went ham, and you guys see it here. I made a video. I told you to sell your car. I told you to make decisions that were unrealistic because Indiana's going to win more than 5 games, more than 6 games. I had Indiana winning 10 or 11 games is what I said in the video. The only thing I regret, and I talked to longtime MVP Paguno about this, the only thing I regret is not betting more units on Indiana, like betting on them to make the playoffs. I had them winning 11 games. Why wouldn't I have them go to the playoffs? So I looked online. Some guy bet $100 for them to make the playoffs. I think it paid him like $13,000. I would have bet $1,000. I really believed in Indiana, and I'm just bummed out about it. So we're going to look for those this offseason, those teams that they don't know what they're doing. Vegas has no clue. So this is why I study the transfer portal every day. This is why I study rosters, and we just really dial it down and figure out which teams are improving, who's returning the most production, who's got the best players out there. I love Indiana, and they won us a ton of money. Shout out to them. Iowa got it right. Maryland knew they were shit all year. Yes, I was one of the few people harping on Michigan under, and I know it was a -192. By the way, if you see 2 odds here, the odds that I bet were the very first odds. I went and updated the odds right before the season started, and that's what you see in parentheses. Those are not my bets. I can't take those odds. I can't take credit for that. So, for example, Michigan, I was on 2 units that they were on the under 9.5. I knew they weren't going to get 10 wins. So I took the under at -192. I didn't give a shit. And I put 2 units on it just to make it worth my time. Something like that. I'm cool with it. Missed on Michigan State. They didn't get there. Minnesota, got it right. Nebraska, Northwestern. I knew they were going to be ass. Terrible. I told you Nebraska, freshman starting quarterback. I don't buy it. They're not winning 8 games, and Northwestern will be worse. I told you Northwestern won 8 games the year before, and they're going to regress immensely. Go back and watch those videos. Multiple units. These are things where I felt like we can make money. Ohio State let us down. Did not get to 11 wins. What a waste of money on their roster. A complete waste of space. That should have been a hit, and I should have been out there nearly clean sweeping the Big Ten. Look at that. I missed 3 teams in the Big Ten. I got the whole script right on the Big Ten. Big on Oregon. Believed in it. Bet the over. 3 units. If I put 3 units on something, you got to be looking like, yo. Oregon. Penn State on the over. Got it right. And you got plus 140 money on it. Purdue. I knew they were terrible. Utterly terrible. Fire their coach and everything. Give me that 1 unit. I'll take it. Hated the odds. That's why I didn't go for multiple units. Rutgers. We didn't know the odds all off season because my sportsbook didn't have it, but I believed in the over. Let me say something to you guys. Over here, I have Rutgers for 1 unit, but Kim told me, where is it at? Rutgers, 1 unit. Kim told me I'm wrong. Kim told me I made multiple bets on Rutgers. I called her 3 different times and told her to put more money on Rutgers. So I owe you guys an actual number on that, but I think it's more. I want to say we put at least 3 different bets on Rutgers. She says it's 3 different bets. So we'll see what the screenshot says. I don't believe her, but whatever. All right, I believe her. All right, UCLA, got it wrong. I was on the under. They managed to find ways to win. USC, I was on the under. I get that wrong? Did USC win 7 games? Would they win 8 games? USC did not win 8 games. Am I tripping right now? That don't even look right. Excuse me. Well, that kills everything. Oh, they're 6-6. I'm on the under. Holy smokes, bro. Well, that sucks, because that means numbers change. And I don't want to make sausage in the middle of this video, but that means we got leans at 7 and 8. So that's there. 16 units out. What was a plus 100? That's pretty cool. So we can do that. 12.1. This does not have a formula set up for it. I'll have to do that by hand, and it'll be a different number. USC was not highlighted green. Doesn't matter. But we did win $100. 200 payout. Cool. I didn't bet it. All right. That solves that. All right, back to this. Washington, I knew they were going to be terrible. It's a fact. Jack, easy. Now, where did I start getting shit wrong? Wisconsin, I believed in you. Quarterback gets injured. Team falls apart. It is what it is. Arkansas, thought they were going to hit the under. They found ways to win. Miss. Value bet. I don't feel bad about missing value bets, by the way. Let me be clear. When I put a team on a value bet, I just don't believe in it. You can take the lean all you want. You can fade it and go the other way. I'm just usually taking a value bet based on the plus money. You'll notice anytime you see purple, you're going to see plus money. I'm just taking it because, I might as well just take more money than it is. That's all it is. It's nothing else. Okay. Auburn, looking at an under, got it right. There was a lot of hype in the preseason about Auburn winning X amount of games. 9 games. Josh Payton, them dudes getting on Twitter saying, Auburn's going to be a team to beat this year. They're going to do it. I said, bullshit. And give me 3 units on the under. And I screamed it in the video. I don't care what these guys are talking about. We're on that under all day. I missed on Florida, Georgia, and Kentucky. I thought Florida wouldn't win games because they had a very difficult schedule. They found ways to win. Georgia, I believed in you too much. You failed me miserably. Yes, they got 10 wins or 11 wins now. You can't count it because it was a conference championship. Kentucky, over. I believed in their defense. And my God, did BVG look terrible. Brock Vandagriff did not look ready to play football. LSU, Mississippi State. Now, this is an example. In the SEC, I don't have a lot of multi-unit bets for the most part, but these 3-unit bets cannot be ignored. Between Auburn, LSU, and Mississippi State, you should have been swimming in this shit, man. These were locks. I did them back-to-back videos, and I was screaming about the unders. You had to take them, man. Multiple units. I took them personally. I told you everything about them. And you look over here, highlighted them, made them locks, and I hope you took them. And who knows? But there was 3 units each way. Missouri, 1 unit, hopeful bet, didn't get it done. Oklahoma, trash. Ole Miss really let us down. I was on the over on this, and big. $300. 3 units for me. Lane Kiffin, stop losing to Kentucky, bro. Stop losing to Kentucky. South Carolina, showed out. Lenora Sellers got it done, and I thought they had a difficult schedule. They're impressive. Tennessee, you guys know I hate Tennessee. That's probably fandom more than anything. It's a shame. Texas, how in the hell was it an over bet? It's crazy value. Only took it for 1 unit. Missed on everything else. Bombed in Arizona. Bombed in Arizona State and Baylor. It just sucks in the Big 12. Got Cincinnati, Houston, and Iowa State is a bet I personally took because I'm a fan of Iowa State and who they are and what they are. So I took that one, and I told you MVPs it was just a lean. I didn't know they were going to have a difficult schedule, and I said they went through with flying colors. That bet hit week 9, something like that. It was great. Missed a lot of the Big 12, but they were all 1 units and something you shouldn't have been going too deep on. And then had to go back and do K-State late. Got it right. When you go to the group of 5, missed on a bunch of teams. It sucks, man. App State laid an egg. ULM played impressive. UConn did what I thought they would. Fresno State, underwhelming as a mother flipper. JMU, hot and cold from 1 week to the next. Charlotte played better than anticipated. Temple, better than anticipated. FIU, not good enough. And New Mexico State was. They are who we thought they were. Put 3 units on it. So, long story short, if you bet on everything, it would have been $12,600 out if you bet those units. That's a bit much. Only getting back $12,111. So you're losing like $500, $489 for the whole year if you took every single bet. You shouldn't take every bet. You should avoid the value bets like the plague and lean heavy on those locks and those shaded greens. You should pick your spots. So me personally, obviously I'm up about 20 units on the futures bet side of the house. It's pretty good for me. Good luck to everybody who makes their decisions on their own. Good luck to whoever tries to do this in the preseason off of their own intellect. This is very difficult. I want you guys to know it took hours upon hours to get this right. And if the return was 20%, let me make this clear. Some people will say it's not worth it. Futures bets aren't worth it, Rico. You did all this work and you only made 20 units. And it took you 4 or 5 months to put all this together. Because it really did. Working every single day, 8 hours a day. Studying schedules, rosters, coaching staffs, matchups, and stuff. But I need you guys to understand is this is the foundation for knowing all the teams. This is the foundation for knowing what's going to happen during the regular season. You need this. I need this. I need these reps. I need to go in and study rosters. This is essential to me. So to be profitable doing this is awesome, because even though I wasn't profitable, this is what makes me or enables me to make money during the regular season. So if you want to be a better gambler, you want to be better at what you're doing and know these teams better, stick around all off season. Pay attention to the futures bet videos. Yes, they're about 30 minutes of breakdown per team. Take good notes, get to know the players, and just keep abreast of the transfer portal, coaching changes, and stuff like this. But it is a process. You can't just wake up overnight and know all this stuff. You can't just roll out of bed and you magically know every team in America. It's not how it works. People like me do research all season long, all year long. And this is why I don't provide picks in baseball or college basketball. I don't have time to try to learn and study all those teams and all those numbers. I have to get focused on the next roster and the next season. And these videos will start coming out in January. So January, February, I probably make one video every couple of days. I think I do one video every 3 days or something like that. And it takes me time to get after it. So good luck, MVPs. Make smart decisions. It feels good when we knock it out the park and get it right. Obviously, you don't want to miss, but you can't predict the entire slate. You can't predict the entire script. If you could, you'd be a wizard, and you probably don't need me, right? Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. I'll see you guys on the channel. Peace.